Ready to break.
56. Mike's 56.
Let's go, tackle. Let's go. We got this. We got this.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Running right, Jones. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Here we go. Here we go. And over.
You remember me? Let's go, baby.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
61, matchbox lights. Hey, foxtrot, foxtrot. Beat them, beat them.
From the 45 on second down. Lock, and he whips that one incomplete there. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily, fell incomplete.
Weapon. Hey, Echo. Let's go, let's go. Get set.
56.
Gone, gone.
Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3.
Five.
Throwing his lock on third down. This one complete into the hands of Higgins. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 41-yard line.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Ready?
They give it to Williams, running right. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Seahawks 14. This will be play number 9 coming up on this relatively long opening drive as they look to convert on third down. They'll try and run for it with Jones. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to make it fourth down. Now Brett Maher for the field goal try. This a 33-yard attempt. And this has no chance. It's no good. Well wide to the left, and this will remain a scoreless game. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
Ready. Slack. Here we go.
Now the former fourth-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. The tackle made by Blake Martinez.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Squeeze. Get it.
On 2nd and 12, Locke. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Za'Darius Smith able to record his 5th sack of the season. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. They'll run here with Balaj. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. We're scoreless after 1. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Hey, 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 3, check 3.
From the gun, Winston. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this punt sails over the sideline, and the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line.
Ready, ready.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. They'll run it with Jones. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops. Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. This is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Jameis to throw it. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They run it with Balaj. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
He's going to sling this deep downfield, and he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
On 3rd down, Winston. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 47, and they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. After the turnover, here's Locke. Escaping the pressure right. Looking deep for it. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Trey Flowers picks it. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to
trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
And this carry terminated at the 8-yard line. Good stick skill showing the power, but just not much room to operate.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
On 2nd down and 4. Locke eluding the pressure right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
They look to throw. It's Locke toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Marr able to put this one through. And the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. The drive will commence with a run by Balaj. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Mike 19, Mike 19. You don't know no better.
On 1st and 10, Winston. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Even though positive yardage was gained on that play, I think the defense has to be happy. Obviously, they were prepared for some trick plays coming into the game, and they looked very aware that those could happen on any given down.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now Winston, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Give the sack to Blake Martinez. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Winston now from the 50. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Kevin King with a pick. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
The drive starts with a completion, left side. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Leo!
Clock will try again on 2nd down. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
This is intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field, and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. Following the interception, Winston. He's going to look deep for more. And this will be caught at the 30. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Winston now to throw on first down. This one into the hands of the running back, Balaj. And the Packers pick it up. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
So we've reached halftime. All we have to show for the first half, a lone field goal. 3-0 our score. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, this is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Again, it's Balaj. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Winston looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Working out of the gun. Winston. Forced out to his left. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to get. And he loses the football a second time.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Jameis now, 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. Now Balaj. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Running for the shotgun with Drake. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Winston, and they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A gain there of 21 yards. Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal.
Check 25. Check 23.
Here's a run with Balaj. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. Winston now. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. From 3 yards out. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Myers connects on the PAT, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pack something big to knock them back on their heels?
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Trey Flowers picks it. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Throwing, Winston. That's complete to Bolden. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. With his size coming out of the backfield, usually takes more than an arm tackle to get him down. That's why they like to get him involved in the passing game. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Kalen Balaj with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken very short. And he'll get to the 30-yard line before going out of bounds. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Open man is Higgins. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 13 yards, first down, Packers. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Man, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, they want to ride him down the stretch. He should have fresh legs.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Locke, buying time to his left. Now he'll let it go deep down the left sideline.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up in that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And Adams has it. Good play. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 35. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. To throw it is Locke. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. On first down, Locke. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 15. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10. And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Blake Martinez. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And down right around the 32-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down. Throwing his Locke on 3rd down. And going deep for Hill. And now here is another interception. Picked off around the 27. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when we see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way. On
2nd and 11 now. Winston. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. The Seahawks on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, Winston. High throw, but the catch is made. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on first down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction, and when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down, 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
A 5-yard gain on the play. And the Seahawks first down.
Tight on this side, boys. Tight on the left. Tight on the left. Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain here down to the 22. So the victory here for Seattle, and it's going to be their defense that gets the ink in the headlines tomorrow, and for good reason. They forced 5 turnovers in this game.
And while we were watching this game unfold, I kept thinking about when we did our training camp tour and something that you noticed along the way. Just about every camp we visited, when the defense got together, everyone was doing ball drills. Defensive linemen, linebackers, secondary, because they understood how vital it was to take the football away. And they wanted every opportunity. When the ball was knocked free, they want all those guys to be familiar with touching the ball so they could pick up the fumble or get the interception. And we saw it pay off in this one here.
Yeah, 5 times. They'll remember this one. So for the Seahawks, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Packers, they drop back to 500 now at 4-4. Up to Detroit to take on the Lions. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin.